on 3 wastelands instead of 4, and has elected to appears play a basic island over the 4th wasteland. He's still looking at the typical 8 fetches, and then he has, what is it, 7 duels? Yeah,
The 4 underground
all
seas
4
is
underground
super
seas.
heavy.
So, I mean, in general, Andrew's deck, kind of like a Delver deck, but you don't really see Esper Delver. Jessica Delver was a big deck, about 2 or 3 years ago. Grixis Delver is obviously the deck of choice currently. So Esper Delver is kind of like an almost interesting blend between the two of them.
Yeah.
Basically being able to do what Grixis Delver does with access to Stoneforge Mystic.
It's interesting to me. Players are underway, by the way. We start with the turn 1 Ponder, but it is interesting to me he doesn't have a way to activate the back half of Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah, no green sources at all. So, that'll make your Reanimator matchup not as good. But
nobody's playing that today, so.
The closest thing you see is Tin Fins.
Jordan O'Hara, no turn 1 play.
No turn 1 play out of Death and Taxes usually means they probably got a lot of really good creatures in their hand, or Source of Plowshares.
Yeah, he could have that. The fact he's on the draw with no turn 1 play, I mean, normally this is a bad matchup for Delver decks in general.
Right.
In this spot, if you were going to tell Andrew, hey, he's not going to do anything on turn 1, you're going to be on the play, possibly with a Stoneforge Mystic here, I would be liking my chances a lot.
There's the Stoneforge Mystic you were talking about. Now, I think Stoneforge Mystic actually gives Andrew a lot of points in this matchup. Having access to, Jite, which you see he grabs a Batter Skull. I think I actually like grabbing Jite here. You have a lot of creatures in your deck, and Jite shuts down most of what that deck is doing. And if they want to do something like, say, Revoker the Jite, they have to, hit their own Jite in the process. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Right. So
I think it's interesting, Andrew, there. If he doesn't do something on turn 1, you have to feel like he has a Swords to Plowshare in his hand.
Well, and you see, he did have the swords. Andrew
did have a way to answer it, but Jordan with the second Swords to Plowshare.
That's so aggressive. Look at that force on the second Swords to Plowshares post Wasteland. So Jordan, as you can see, Wastelanded Andrew's second duel to go ahead and play around Daze. Then went to Swords the Stoneforge again, and Andrew just went ahead and forced it, pitching a Brainstorm. I think that really makes a claim about how good Stoneforge is on Andrew's side of the table.
He really wants that Batter Skull in. And Batter Skull, Jite is one of those, if they answer the Stoneforge, it's easy to cast a Jite, easy to throw it on something. But Batter Skull, I think, is a very good card. When you do get it down.
And here's the Revoker, which is unfortunate because you can just name Stoneforge Mystic, and you don't even have to worry about this Batter Skull probably for the rest of the game. Andrew looking probably for some counter magic here. Another Daze would do just fine. Force if you're really committed, but
I mean that Batter Skull is worth a lot of cards, or at least to Andrew at this point, I'm sure.
Well, and you can't expect Jordan to have too many more Swords to Plowshares. A, he would have casted here. B, he's already been through 2 of them. 4 in the deck list, but Death and Taxes doesn't have access to things like Brainstorm or card filtering or any kind of the namesakes of the format where you have Brainstorm, Ponder. Death and Taxes is looking to punish that, but as a result, they sacrifice their ability to look at more cards and have access to some extra copies of things after they've been through 2 or 3.
Yeah, he's already been through 2 and a Revoker. That's
right.
That's a lot of answers here.
If Andrew can answer all of them, Jordan may not have much gas left.
For sure.
So, I mean, what do you think about this matchup in general? How much do you think... Obviously, I think Esper Delver is better against Death and Taxes than Grixis Delver. Having access to Stoneforge Mystic, I think, is almost certainly just better than having Young Pyromancer. But do you think it's enough to really swing the matchup to Andrew's favor? He's done things like hedge using Liliana.
Possibly. He does have a 19th land. He's a basic. Really he can get against Wasteland. He does have a pair of True Names. Most people don't have that. His sideboard, he doesn't seem to have too much. I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit after this game, but I don't know if it's enough to tilt the matchup in his favor, but the fact he's on the play here, Jordan, this game, he doesn't look too bad off. He may not have a second land, though, which could be a huge problem because at this point, Andrew is actually Brainstorm locked, and Jordan's probably about to play a Thalia.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty rough. I mean, Andrew needs to hit a second land to get this Batter Skull into play. Although, it is worth noting that this Delver is almost 100% flipping. Wow, another Force of Will, pitching Force of Will on this Thalia. Andrew, now having been through 3 Force of Wills, that's,
Yeah, we haven't even been...
Yeah, we need to keep up these leftovers. It looks like the players aren't doing a good job keeping the dice on camera either, so we can't really keep up with that. I may step away from a table just to go ahead and get... Oh, wow, another Thalia. Yeah. That's not looking good for Andrew.
I guess Andrew's just drawing creatures off the top?
Yeah, he verify left him.
This is interesting though. The Delver, I think it's been 2 turns and it's not flipped.
Didn't flip. Makes me wonder what Andrew put back with the brain. Maybe he's
Yeah.
just like stuck on creatures. Like
Could just be a bunch of creatures in the artifact, like True Name Nemesis, Gurmag's additional Stoneforge Mystics. If it was additional Stoneforge, I have no idea why he was fighting over it.
I can't read the dice. 17 and 19. All right. So we just got confirmation life totals are 17 and 19. We're having trouble seeing the dice. We'll fix that after this game. Probably put them on the other side. But for the time being, we're going to have to verify life totals probably a few times throughout this match. Now, I think it's interesting. Andrew actually isn't in that bad of a spot. You know, he isn't down that many cards on Force Wheels because he's been missing land drops. And, I mean, Jordan has a bunch of creatures on the table, but if Andrew can ever get this Batter Skull into play, it's probably not dying. And, like, no Delver flip there could mean a land. Let's see what we have. Another Delver, oh my gosh. Wow.
I guess he does just have a really creature and artifact heavy hand.
But I mean, if we see Jordan O'Hara pick up, you know, a Wasteland or even a Port, like it could be pretty much game ending at this point in the game.
Yeah. But I think this next card, or maybe that Delver was his first card. Very soon we'll be out of the Brainstorm block.
I think that was the last draw step to get out of the Brainstorm block.
So this may be the next draw may be his first after a Brainstorm block.
Right. Which would make, but like I have trouble thinking that why would he put another Delver back? Maybe that is another Brainstorm block because why would he put another Delver back? I guess it could just be another creature. Man, no spells. I guess he wanted to hold them for like things like Thalia, stuff like that. We see Jordan picking up the Jite using a Stoneforge here. I mean, I think that is actually good enough to like lock this game up.
Well, I don't think he has a third land. He doesn't have a third land, and he can't put it into play with his own Stoneforge because he revoked the Stoneforge.
Right.
So it could, and Andrew has a land now, but
can't put Batter Skull in.
It doesn't matter.
But he can now cast Swords to Plowshares, targeting Revoker, but that turns on Jordan O'Hara's Jite.
Yeah.
So we're kind of looking at a weird battle between Stoneforge Mystics here, and like like I was saying before, Revoker turns off what.
This is about to be Mother Runes. This is a plow check and a half right here.
Yeah.
And I think if Andrew had a plow, he would have put it back.
He has to play. Yeah, he had to play it there. It looks like he doesn't actually have a Swords to Plowshares, which honestly that Mother might be good enough to just go ahead and begin locking this game up.
This game's probably over, to be honest.
And the fact these Delvers still haven't flipped is so brutal. Andrew's draws have not lined up. You see Jordan just passing. Plans likely to...
Violent Sarah Avenger.
Yeah. 2 mana Brainstorm. Let's hope this one's better than that first one. We need help. I think something like Liliana Last Hope could be really good. I mean, it's hard to cast, but like if you can start...
still can't...
You can get a free check on the Mother.
2 more lands, though. You would need 2 more lands.
We're likely going to see these Delvers flip here. Shocking. How do you know it was there? I mean, yeah, you do need 2 more lands, and they both have to be black.
Yeah, this is just... I don't think there's really much of anything to get him out of this.
We're going to see a Violin of Sarah Avenger, then likely block, give it proc blue, and basically free kill one of these Delvers.
Yeah, right here you can easily give proc blue here if you're Jordan because there's no way he would have had the plow because he didn't have it before, and his draw was Wasteland into Brainstorm.
Brainstorm. I think he already had the Wasteland. He had it since last year.
Maybe.
So, but you knew the draw was Brainstorm.
And there's no combat. You just can't. There's no way he can Brainstorm and plow this turn because Thalia.
Well, to be fair, honestly, this is kind of how we see a lot of like Death and Taxes. This is how they win a lot of their games. Is they just like they kind of appear behind to evenish for most of the game, and then they like assemble a lock. Like you see all these little pieces. You have like Mother of Runes, Stoneforge Mystic, Thalia, Revoker, just all these little pieces, and then you have a clock in the form of Sarah Avenger. That's really how Death and Taxes ends up winning a lot of its games. It looks like it's kind of even, looks like it's kind of close. You see Jordan forgetting that his Revoker is on Stoneforge Mystic, trying to activate his Stoneforge Mystic. That is not going to go the way you want it to, friend. But, I mean, even still, it's probably just likely not going to matter. Although,
yeah, he's got a pair of Flicker Wisps in his hand, a Recruiter now.
But he still can't cast that Jite. So this Jite is actually probably likely not going to be a player in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But if he ever draws a land and can cast it, he's in...
Looks like Jordan O'Hara's hand's pretty stacked. Yeah. I would be shocked if Andrew had a way out here. Andrew likely just taking the beats.
Heck, if you commit this Revoker to combat... and he blocks, you could even initiate the trade. That means no batter skull.
Right.
And then it means your GT.
I mean, you could even, if you're greedy, you could even use the mother. Jordan's permanents are getting a little out of hand here, but
I don't think there's any way back for.
Yeah, this looks
Maze. We're just kind of
pretty locked. Well, I mean, and like I said, Death and Taxes often operates like a prison deck. It's just a prison deck with creatures.
Yeah.
You know, you see things like Lantern Control in Modern that uses a bunch of like artifacts that are unplayable in Draft, and you have like some of the Blood Moon decks that are prison decks that just try to Blood Moon you. And I mean, there's a lot of different prison style strategies. And White Weenie in Legacy has always just done it with creatures like Thalia and Evoker and just creatures that have activated abilities that you can attack while interacting with your opponent using static abilities.
Yeah, and Mother Rune shutting off any potential
Mother Rune
blockers.
protects the whole suite.
Yeah, potential blockers getting shut off, potential removal spells getting shut off.
We see Jordan Hara grabbing a sword here after, I believe, Flicker Wisping? Or no, he just vialed in another Stoneforge Mystic because he's wait, no, did he? Or did he just cast it? He's vials on 3. Okay. So what are life totals? I think Andrew's taking at least 1 hit. Jordan's taking a hit to 16, I believe. So we got to get these life totals correct and move these dice after this game.
Yeah. This is a tough spot. If you're Andrew, I don't really know what gets you out here at all, to be honest.
I think Jordan took 5 last turn using the Thalia and the Avenger. So he should be at least 12 to 16.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep forgetting to mess with the life totals.
Yeah. Well, now that they're we've parsed most of this board state, and this game's pretty much all over, but the fat lady singing. We can.
You could have like a Gurmag Angler here. That'd be a big threat. And
Hey, just what the doctor ordered.
It doesn't really do too much against.
I mean,
Mother of Runes.
Mother Runes does a good job.
You have flyers in the form of, Sarah Avenger is still on the board.
But it's a piece. I mean, if Andrew can like slam a bunch of runners, maybe he's not completely out of this game. He seems to be at still a relatively healthy life total. You see the Batter Skull to pick up for turn. Still can't activate these Stoneforge Mystics. Yeah. I kind of like just throwing this Revoker under the bus. You have all 3 equipment? Come on.
Yeah.
Jordan does not agree. Attacks only with Sarah Avenger. Andrew Mays goes down.
I think maybe the only way you let this game get out of hand is if you let Andrew Mays get his Batter Skull in. Like, I know you have your own equipment to get in, but I think like you're just so far ahead at this point.
Yeah.
It might be one of his only ways to get out. If you let him get that Batter Skull in, both players are going to be gaining a bunch of life, and you just give him so many more draw steps.
I have trouble believing the player with the GT, the sword, and the Batter Skull, though, won't eventually come out on top on that, though.
That's true. Probably, but I would just rather keep on, until Andrew has demonstrated that he can really do anything to come back. There's no real reason to change things.
Mismatching Stoneforge Mystics on the side of Andrew Mays, clearly the reason he's losing this game.
Yeah, come on.
Unacceptable. You see Jordan O'Hara finally labeling this Revoker for the camera.
Annotating it for us,
After
but
forgetting.
Yeah, we already do, so.
It's too funny.
I think he has another Flicker Wisp in his hand.
But yes, I mean, I just want to see this Revoker get out of the way. I want to see some Batter Skulls suited up with random swords and
it would be nice to see
jamming.
that. Hey,
that's an altered Deathrite Shaman.
Superman Deathrite Shaman, I guess.
No kidding.
So I can give him a little bit of mana.
He's going to need Superman to get him out of this game, but we'll see.
He'll need a little more than Superman.
I don't know. I think laser beams on the side of his opponent's field. He burns up most of the cards. It'd be good. Flicker the Delver to unflip it. It's a cute play, and it doesn't even come back until you use next in step, because what you see here is a Vial activation on Jordan's in step.
To the point where an Alpha Strike proc the creature being blocked by Gurmag Angler we're getting to the point where that might be just what Jordan wants to do, just attack with everybody.
I mean, Andrew's so low. Apparently, Jordan's just on the. I'm going to kill you with these flyers, and you are never attacking me back. It's just not happening.
Yeah, well, those flyers, I think that puts Andrew. Well, he may be still going through things, but I think it would put him on 3.
Yeah, that does put him to 3.
So you have like 4. You have only 3. So he can proc 1. I don't know.
I think if you give protection to the Thalia engine tackle, you might get to just attack with the Mother of Runes too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Block.
Yeah, you just need 3 damage here. So you got 4 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, actually,
creatures.
I don't think he can.
What do you mean?
I don't think he could attack all out because he
You block Thalia, you block...
block,
yeah,
block.
okay.
Yeah. I
Block,
mean,
block.
and there's just no real reason. Jordan's not
Yeah.
exactly going to be losing this race, or even losing this long game. This game is pretty well locked up.
Yeah, there's actually... This has to flip, and you have to... I think Jordan's going to have to screw up with his mother when you go to, like,
yeah,
you know, path or push one of the flyers. There's just so many things that has to happen, especially because you don't even have a trop to draw to gain you some life with your death right.
Notably, Aether Vial was a play that we didn't really talk about too much, but I think is really honestly let Jordan O'Hara win this game. Jordan O'Hara never actually hit a third land after wastelanding Andrew there. And that Aether Vial just let him to continue to just play more than one spell a turn. And that's really ultimately what got Jordan O'Hara so far ahead on his stuff.
For sure. Aether Vial is a huge part of the Death and Taxes deck. It's what lets them abuse, you know, Rishtron Port and, you know, basic play up, you know, it lets them abuse the...
lets them abuse the wastelands and just actually play like less lands in general. Or Caracas too. You know, Caracas plus Vial is a cute
yeah, it
little
lets
combo.
them abuse the Flicker Wisp as well. Going to sideboard, you have Mazes in front of you. What does he have, and what could he have to potentially shore up this matchup a little bit?
So looking at the whole sideboard, we have 2 Zealous Persecution, 2 Meddling Mage, 2 Surgical Extractions, 1 Path to Exile, 1 Flusterstorm, 1 Pithing Needle, 1 Diabolic Edict, 1 Disenchant, 1 Snapcaster Mage, 1 Vendilion Click, 1 Sword of Fire and Ice, and 1 Vindicate. Wow. We got 3 2-ofs and then all 1-ofs. So for this matchup, I actually feel like he has a lot for this matchup. Zealous Persecution, once again, X1s, really good. Clear all the X1s. That's excellent.
That's a huge card here.
I do kind of like Path to Exile, even though it does get them a land. The creatures that you need to kill on the side of Death and Taxes are so important that the extra land is not going to matter that much. So I like so 2 Zealous Persecution, 1 Path to Exile. I like 1 Pithing Needle. You know, you can Pithing Needle Vial, the equipment asymmetry. You can. There's a lot of things. I mean, Mother of Runes. Death and Taxes is full of things you want.
Yeah, Pithing Needles for sure is a good card.
I do like Disenchant. Ironically, I like Snapcaster Mage. Andrew Maze has Death Rights and is on the plan of just like, you know, you need a lot of mana for things like True Names and stuff like that anyway. Being able to snap things like Fatal Push and Snap Path, and even Snap Disenchant, I think is going to be a big player. So I do like Snapcaster Mage. I would put some thought into Vendilion Click. It's good against opposing Stoneforge Mystics. It's good against Vials, and like it's a reasonable attacker.
Yeah, it's evasive.
The thing is, it's 3 mana, and you already have 2 True Names in your deck as well as a Liliana. You already have very good 3-drops. So I would really have to look at what I want to be taking out to really be interested in Vendilion Click. And then
it is a creature, so it doesn't get affected by the tax effect of Thalia Guardian.
That's very true. And unfortunately, it does not block a Thalia Guardian.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Very well.
So it doesn't. So you kind of have to have the approach of I'm the aggressor in this matchup to.
And by the same token, Vindicate. Once again, Vindicate can hit all the equipment, can hit Aether Vials, can hit any of the creatures you want. It's just so flexible. But it is a 3-mana spell.
Yeah, it is slow.
Death and Taxes is good at taxing those spells. So, I mean, there's a lot of help, a lot of ins, and I'd be interested to see exactly how much of these tools Andrew Mays wants access to post-port.
Usually, I think the Delver players are going to want to get rid of some of this disruption, the spell pierces, the forces, the dazes. Some of it probably has to stay in. When you're on the play, maybe some of the dazes stay in.
Yeah, I would suspect. I would not be surprised to see at least 2 to 3 dazes on Andrew Mays' side.
But probably
down
the
to 1 or 2 forces. I just don't like forces.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if almost all the forces are out. So you do have a decent amount of cards you could, rotate out for all these sideboard options. I mean, another card we didn't really mention. How do you feel about? It's a little weird, but Diabolic Edict. It's another removal spell.
The thing about Diabolic Edict is you already have a lot of really good spot removal. So going up to a 2-mana spot removal spell that lets him pick, the creature he wants to get rid of when they're, basically Death and Taxes is trying to assemble a lot of pieces, and some pieces matter more than others. Giving him the option to pick off pick which creature he wants to sacrifice at his leisure for more mana just doesn't seem like something I'm super interested in. And Vial on top of that kind of abuses it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it also lets them put more things into play that you weren't exactly ready for. It's just, I think you already have enough good removal on this side, and I would be interested in putting in all the things like Vindicate, and even I would be interested in putting in Vendilion Click before Diabolic Edict. And I just don't think Andrew Mays has enough outs. Although something I did when I was playing Miracles, which for the viewers, I played Miracles for quite a long time, I liked cutting 1 to 2 Ponders against Death and Taxes because they're really awkward late in the game, and I'd rather be I want to be doing other things. I want to be either committing to the board or holding up removal or just I want to be interacting and playing to the board and interacting with the board more than I want to be cantripping in this matchup. So I usually would shave on Ponders just a little bit. In Delver, I'm not sure you can because you're so land light.
Yeah, I don't think you can in here because
it is something I would be interested to see if Andrew.
I think being land light and like the check pile matchup against Delver is good for check pile. I think because those baleful strix and whatnot help you hit your land drops and just even though they're a 4-color deck, they have a lot less problems with the mana denial than Delver does. Even just a few lands different,
makes a big difference.
19 versus 20 lands.
And like
no wastelands.
Andrew only has one basic versus Miracles that have a lot of basics. So there's definitely reasons to play Ponder, but it's just something that I
think you just need it here if you're Andrew Mays. From his side, we have one Palace Jailer, a Gideon ally Zendikar, 2 Council's Judgment, 2 Rest in Peace, 2 Surgical Extractions, a Manriki Guzari, 2 Aethersworn Kinnis, a Containment Priest, 2 Path to Exile, a Pithing Needle. Path to Exile is going to be just an upgrade.
Right.
It's just really good. Andrew has, I guess, one island that you know about when you look at his deck list, but
I don't think that's
it's still fine. Pithing Needle could be good against the opposing Stoneforge. It could be good against Deathrite Shaman. Could be good against Liliana.
Does the same thing it does on Andrew's side.
I could see it.
Answers the asymmetries.
Manriki Kusari, if it's not for Stoneforge Mirrors, I don't know what it's for.
I don't know where you're bringing that card in. It seems like a
Rest
slam dunk.
Rest in Peace can hit the one Snapcaster to the sideboard, the Deathrites, and the Gurmag. Not a huge fan of, especially 2.
Yeah.
Council's Judgment may be an overpriced removal spell, but maybe you want more removal spells.
Do you like Council's Judgment more than something like Palace Jailer?
I don't like Palace Jailer.
You just don't like the card?
I mean, I think Andrew has too many flying creatures that can punish you and true names and stuff. Gideon's probably a little slow on the draw. Any game that's going that late, you probably don't need it.
Yeah, you're probably just winning the late game. I mean, to be fair, I don't think Jordan has that much for this matchup because most of the time they just assume their Delver matchup's really good. Now, they don't play against Esper Delver matchup because it's not like a real deck. Looking at an Aether Vial there.
If we're looking at Andrew, by the way, this is something that I think is huge. Just if you're playing like Check or Shardless, Jund, Death, any Deathrite deck, having a Deathrite on turn 1 against Death and Taxes does a lot against their mana denial.
Right. I mean, being able to essentially ramp. Yeah. So they have to either swords it on turn 1, but you see Jordan O'Hara either didn't have the swords or just wanted to play Aether Vial on turn 1, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he might have a
big namesake turn 1.
It doesn't look like he has a Revoker, but Revoker's pretty good at stopping those Deathrite Shamans. But this is one of those where if he had Rest in Peace here, like Andrew's already using this. I mean, look at this. Yeah, he's already exploding on mana on turn 1.
Notably, I think Andrew is once again brainstorm locked with no other lands. Like, if Jordan O'Hara has a Wasteland here, or you see a port in that hand, I'm very interested in activating that port. I think the fact as soon as you play a Wasteland after a brainstorm, that's to me signals, A, you're out of lands, and like you don't have a fetch land, so you're brainstorm locked.
Well, if you're in Andrew's shot, you can go ahead and just Wasteland this port end of turn.
That's true.
I think Jordan...
Wow, Jordan slamming the Manriki. Let's see Andrew Mays needing to read that one.
Yeah, that's... It's seen play in Legacy a few times.
Okay, all right.
So Andrew's going to go ahead and go with this...
I mean, the port got Wastelanded anyway, so that's kind of what we expected. Unsurprisingly, the Delver flips. Don't know how I knew that was there. And I'm wondering to see if Andrew has any follow-up plays or if we're on the drain plan. What? A fetch land. That's pretty interesting to me. I'm wondering why. I mean, it's certain that Andrew wanted his Delver to flip.
Yeah.
But after the Delver flips, you can fetch away the top. You can fetch away that brainstorm if you don't want it. I feel like you have more options playing the fetch land.
Yeah, he may just wanted all the cards. I don't know.
Or he wanted to signal to his opponent. Like I said, I mentioned what playing the Wasteland signals to me. Maybe that's what Jordan wanted to signal to Andrew. Maybe Andrew actually has more than one land in his hand and wanted that Underground Sea to get Wastelanded.
Yeah.
He wanted Jordan to spend his turn doing that. That's an interesting thing. That's something we should think about. We did not get these dice moved, so we're going to have to handle this mostly ourselves as far as handling life totals. It looks like Jordan O'Hara has taken a hit for 3 from a Delver.
Yeah, I forgot. Another Deathrite. What superhero is that? I actually can't tell.
I believe he did. I think that's Batman. He did all of the DC ones. So he has Green Lantern, Superman, Batman, and gosh, I don't remember his last one.
I don't know. Well, it looks like there's a Mother in play. Andrew's gonna probably need an answer here to.
Looks like this will be a fatal push.
Yeah,
Oh, there it
probably
is.
a fatal push.
It's a fatal push. Looks a little off screen. You can see it a little bit, but yeah, definitely a fatal push. Need to get that out of the way before it's active and protect itself.
Yeah, if Mother ever gets active against removal spells or attacking, but basically any fair deck, it's really good.
Yeah, correct.
I mean,
just being able to blank more than one removal spell, just getting a 2-for-1 off a 1-drop is just, that's very good.
Even combo, it's just like, yeah, even or sorry, not combo, even combat. Even in combat, it's like
combat. It just abuses combat math.
Yeah.
We see Jordan vialing in a Stoneforge Mystic. Doesn't want that one countered. And what do you think he's going to grab here? Just before we see the GTA. What would you have grabbed?
I would have probably grabbed a GTA.
You like GTA?
Yeah, I mean,
think I want Sword of Fire and Ice here, to be honest. Every single creature on Andrew's side of the table is an X2, and like, I just think that Sword of Fire and Ice is a better piece of pressure. Like, if Andrew slams a True Name next turn, you can still attack around it.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah, like the only thing you kind of get beat by is Gurmag Angler, but I think it beats both these things here.
I'm
seeing
a little
an equip.
interested why. I guess he put that Stoneforge in now, so there's no reason not to do that.
Well, you can port. I might be more interested in porting than spending 1 mana to equip Gusari this turn.
I mean, you can keep him off of a Liliana Last Hope if he doesn't have another land, or like a Vindicate.
Yeah, there's no lands in the graveyard right now, right? Maybe 1 Wasteland? So you can't cast a True Name this turn if you port it.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I don't know. With 2 Deathrite Shamans, and he could possibly Brainstorm fetch. I mean, he has a Brainstorm in his hand already. I guess porting him's probably a little better. But it's close.
We see a Wasteland of the port. Looks like Andrew's had that Wasteland. Only 3 Wastelands in his deck. He's had the Wasteland every time for these ports. We're looking at 2 out of 3 for 2 out of 4 ports.
Yeah.
Jordan checking out what the graveyard's looking like.
Yeah, see, there's some more lands.
We're going to see the file go up to 3. Jordan does have a Flicker Wisp in his hand. Oh, you see he did bring in the Council's Judgment. So,
and this is kind of what I was talking about it being potentially an overpriced removal spell. I mean, you get a little versatility. It is a removal spell, and you usually want removal spells in this kind of matchup. It
does catch the Lilianas and the True Names, but it is, I mean, it's expensive when both sides have Wastelands, both sides are trying to do things with their mana.
Yeah, it's something that looks attractive with the True Names, but when you're on the draw, I
just think it's just too slow. You like it on the play, not on the draw?
Probably.
That's fair.
It's probably fine on the play, but on the draw, I think for 2 True Name Nemesis, I mean, I guess it hits equipment. It's probably reasonable to bring 1.
We see a Drain here. I believe Jordan has actually taken 5 damage now off of that, so he should be now at 12.
Yeah. He's pretty low.
He's definitely getting low, and like not having a land drop here to put in GT, pretty much all Jordan's looking at now is Flicker Wisp on the Stoneforge, which does let you go get Batterskull and start kind of recuperating your life total a little bit. But we do need to find an answer for this Delver of Secrets.
The Flicker Wisp can answer the Delver in his hand, I guess. It can flip it. It can,
Yeah, he can flick
knock it back to a 1/1, and then he could block it on a following turn if he wanted to.
Correct. But even still, these Deathrites, we're looking at 2 Undergrounds, 2 Deathrites. That spells 4 damage a turn as well. So we're looking
it's
at
definitely a fast clock. You're going to want to, you're really going to need to draw a second land, I think, here. Especially if Andrew has like any good follow-up in his hand. He hasn't been doing too much. He could easily have multiple more removal spells.
Beats Death and Taxes a lot of the time. Is you need to prevent Death and Taxes from putting all of their creatures on the table, or at least all of their permanents on the table. Once again, they're a prison deck, so if you're going to win the game, they need to not be playing their cards.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Aether Vial is actually a little one of the more important cards in this matchup that maybe isn't talked about as much. Because Aether Vial really does, it does exactly what you want it to in the Delver matchup, which is why Death and Taxes Delver matchup is traditionally so good. Is it just lets you ignore Delver's mana denial plan. You still get to do your mana denial plan while putting things on the table using Aether Vial. And that's where just Death and Taxes is basically being the unfair deck. It's cheating on mana. So it gets to sit there and cheat on mana while, Delver is still trying to play remotely fair Magic. Relatively fair Magic for Legacy. Let's be honest.
Both
not
of these
many
decks are very fair compared to some of the stuff we might see today.
Oh, yeah. I think
Our fourth round, we're going to see some 10 fins, I believe.
I think it's our third round. We're going to see some 10 fins.
Or third round, sorry.
Yeah. Not a traditional position deck in this metagame, but it is paired against, I think, our burn matchup in the third round. Our pairings are already predetermined since it's round robin for the pods.
Yeah.
And so 10 fins against burn, I think, actually favors 10 fins a lot, but I think burn is like the deck you want to be on in this metagame. Like with 4 check piles, 4 delvers, that's like a bunch of fair, a bunch of duels, and Price of Progress is just going to look incredible today, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
It would not surprise me if 10 fins was one of Burn's only match losses today. But we are going to have that coming for you round 3. For now, it looks like Andrew might be looking towards locking this one up. Having a second flip delver just increases this clock so much.
Yeah, I think O'Hara's already down to 9. Looking at another 4 drain end of turn. If he doesn't draw a land, even if he does, he's not going to be able to equip GTA in one turn. It's going to be very hard. But Flicker Recruiter for Flicker was probably going to buy him a turn.
Well, it lets you buy blockers, but that's still you're still under pressure from these death rides.
Was that end of turn? Maybe.
I believe this is end of turn.
Okay, so that buys him 1 turn, maybe. Yeah, it buys him 1 turn. Because you can go drain with death ride, put him to full 5, then drain, put him to 1.
But if you draw swords, you're like really in business. It makes me wonder what Andrew's got going on. Andrew has been playing, I think, pretty conservatively. Only like 1 or 2 things a turn. I think Andrew's still sitting on 2 or 3 cards in hand.
Probably just a bunch of removal spells. I mean,
you just don't think he cares about anything on the table right now?
One removal spell.
Is that the Palace Jailer? I think I see a Palace Jailer in Jordan's hand. That's
that card looking super good right now.
I mean, if you take the follow up to 4, it actually wouldn't be too bad.
But isn't it if Andrew hits him, he becomes the
he can get rid of the Delver, and then, I mean, those death rates aren't going to hit him.
Yeah, I mean, that's
so he would just be drawing cards and get him closer to lands. It would actually be decent in this spot if he could get it on the table. Oh, wow, the days for Mother. 2 Council's Judgments in hand, and Jordan just
could be another thing. Andrew could just be flooded on dazes and been waiting for, like, removal spells or something to daze. I don't know.
That's true, I suppose. I mean, like we said, leaving in days on the play is something that's pretty traditional. Jordan down to 7. I think Jordan realizes he is dead on board and goes ahead and picks it up.
Well, he wasn't dead. I think he...
Yeah, he went to 7 and then 4 plus 3. 2 death rates and the Delver hit.
Yeah, but he had a...
the Flicker Wisp?
Yeah, he had the Flicker Wisp. I think he may just have realized, like, if Andrew does it both times, I don't think there's an out.
I'm going to go get these players to move the dice, and you can talk about any changes that may be happening for Game 3.
Well, Game 3, if you're going to be O'Hara is going to be on the play this time, so Andrew's going to be on the draw. A lot of times these Delver decks will take out, they'll have more Force of Wills and other disruption that aren't the Dazes when they're on the draw. Daze is a lot worse on the draw than it is on the play, and especially against D&T because you're looking at 2 Cavern of Souls, 4 Aether Vials that you can play on turn 1. Mother can get down on turn 1 around Daze, and then obviously, like I said, Cavern can invalidate the Dazes as well. So Daze, I think on when you're on the draw as Andrew is definitely going to come out. Probably more forces are going to come in. As far as what, like, I don't know. Looking at Andrews, I probably would, cut the Dazes, the Spell Pierces. That's 6 outs, and then we have, like, Disenchant, Snapcaster Mage, Vendilion Click. Maybe some of these 3 drops are also a little bit slow if you're Andrew on the draw. Possibly, like Disenchant, or sorry, Vindicate. If you had Vindicate in on the play, maybe you don't have it in on the draw. It's a lot slower. If you have, you may not want Snapcaster if you're on the draw. Maybe, I don't know. There's just a lot of different things you could do.
Right.
I was saying
he's going to be less mana intensive on the draw.
Maybe, like the Snapcaster Mage, the Vindicate. Those strike me as a little slow when you're on the draw. As Andrew.
Yeah. There's one in Twitch chat. We had somebody JJB8686. He mentioned earlier he didn't think Edict was good enough unless you're just overloading on removal, which is kind of what we had talked about.
Yeah.
And he'd previously said this is definitely a matchup where mismatched Stoneforge Mystics puts you at a disadvantage, which I think is. I think we've definitely seen that throughout these games. That Stoneforge Mystic is kind of the name of the game. You're either If you let that get out of control, if you let Stoneforge Mystic
No, I think he was talking about the arts.
Oh.
Yeah, he was just being a clown, I think.
Oh, I thought he was talking about, like, on different sides of the boards being swinging. Yeah, no. You're almost certainly right. Mismatched.
The Stoneforge Mystic is definitely a huge card in this matchup. I mean,
to me, it seems like what these games have kind of come down to is, like, can the other person get the Stoneforge Mystic live and active? And if they can, like, and they can get this equipment running, then they're just going to run away with the game.
Both players do have a lot of answers to it, though.
Right, which is, I mean, that's why that's basically what they're playing. They're playing, like, play Stoneforge Mystic, play equipment, and, like, answer
Jordan may
have
just mulligan. That may be the second mulligan.
We may be seeing a mold of 5 on Jordan.
Maybe? I'm not sure.
On the play, that's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, you're going to be down 3 cards, possibly. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't another mold. I wasn't really paying attention.
It's all good. Well, I mean, we've been talking a little bit. So with Jordan O'Hara on the play, let's see.
Oh wait, no. Never mind.
Mold of 5.
Yeah, he's on 6.
He's on 6. That's reasonable.
But that hand
what do you think of his hand? He likes it. I mean, an uncounterable Thalia, there is merits, but the equipment are just so awkward alongside that Thalia. Like, you want to play the Thalia first to start disrupting Andrew, but you then have two drop equipments that are now 3 drops in your hand. And wow, Andrew has the
Deathrite.
Turn 1 Deathrite. You mentioned
that's a pretty good draw there.
Wow, Stoneforge Mystic
off the top.
I like this. I like
actually, that's a good idea.
Bait out the removal spell, and then you can either play equipment later, like you can play the GT first with your 3rd land, and if you draw a 4th land, you can play Stoneforge and equip GT.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this play a lot.
All of it's moot, though, because
a Wasteland.
Andrew's going to go with a Wasteland.
Andrew, on 3 Wastelands. Drawing them. So good.
It's Path to Exile.
Path to Exile's also not terrible. Jordan?
It's going to go fetch up an island, though.
It is.
Island with the scrubland? Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Fixing mana for him?
Batterskull?
And it's a 2-mana path?
So if you're in Andrew's spot, does this going for the Batterskull signify that maybe he has the GTA in hand, possibly?
I think it definitely could. Also, like, there's just not that many threats on the table. Like, he doesn't have a Vial, so you can't, like, Vial and Stoneforge and then, like, equip. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Jordan isn't actually very mana efficient right now, and Batterskull is only 2 mana versus GTA's 3 to, like, start being a creature and start, attacking and being relevant. So it could just mean that Jordan, this is what I would pick up. I would pick up he just doesn't have more lands.
Yeah.
That was what I would get from it.
We're
going to see a fatal push on Thalia here.
It's a little interesting that Andrew wasn't killing. It wasn't doing anything and didn't. I guess he did now kill the Thalia, but it
makes me wonder if Andrew doesn't have something like a Vindicate or something where he just does not care if Batterskull comes down.
He could have a Disenchant in his hand, for example.
Or Disenchant's a good example. Like you see who waited till Instep to do anything and had access to 3 mana on Instep in case Jordan just decided to put in the Batterskull. So we actually may see Andrew just take a draw step, play a land if he has it, and pass again, holding up Disenchant if he has it. So here we see a land. Okay, let's see. Andrew, interested in casting something. Although, yeah, you only need 2 mana now because Andrew got the Thalia out of play, so he actually only needs to hold up 2 mana and can spend 3 mana this turn doing pretty much whatever he wants.
Yeah, you could go True Name Nemesis, possibly, into Disenchant whatever you put in.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I think that would be
really
so
good
backbreaking.
Play against a mold of 6.
Mold of 6.
Of course, there are a lot of artifacts in Jordan's hand.
Ponder on the side of Andrew Mays. Yeah, there is. I mean,
like removal spell for the Stoneforge might actually be
even better.
Of course, the Batterskull in itself is kind of a creature.
But I mean, just like Fatal Push plus Disenchant might just like begin to like look pretty favorable for Andrew Mays to win this game, and this is only like turn 3.
Yeah, I would definitely like his position a lot from there.
And notably, I mean, just look at how different this game has been with Jordan O'Hara not starting with an 8th Vial. The previous 2 games, I mean,
I think Deathrite is also a huge part of that. Like, Deathrite is kind of Andrew's way of cheating on mana.
Right.
It's like Andrew has started with Deathrite twice. Jordan hasn't started Deathrite with Aether Vial one of these games. Or maybe
Andrew didn't start game 1 with the Deathrite Shaman, which notice, like, that's the game he got... Andrew didn't start with the Deathrite Shaman. Jordan started with a Vial, and Andrew got run over. Both players started with their namesake turn 1's plays on game 2, and it was a close game, right? Like, there was a lot of going around. Here, we kind of see the other side, where Andrew started with Deathrite, and Jordan did not start with Vial. And, I mean, Jordan's not out of this game, but he's looking behind for sure. All right, I think we're going to see this fetch, I think, signals a Disenchant.
Interestingly, if I was in Jordan O'Hara's seat, when he's on the play, the rest in peace seems a little maybe better.
You think maybe just like one or two? I generally don't like
One.
Rest in Peace if it's not the main strategy. There is the disenchant we were talking about.
Yeah, maybe one. I don't know.
Right.
If you're in Jordan's seat, though, at least he has more artifacts.
Oh,
he has a
my
plow.
gosh.
He does have a wasteland, but
I think he goes his other land's a port, right? So he doesn't have double white. Yeah. Ugh. So he can't like activate and use
you
path.
could wasteland a land and put something in, but
I think wasteland of land is
I almost
just so
think the wasteland
bad.
is like Andrew would want you to lose a land at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Jordan I think is going to recognize that. Andrew's going to activate his Deathrite Shaman at the end of turn, targeting a land and one of his spells to drain O'Hara. O'Hara? I don't know.
I think it's O'Hara.
Oh, it was O'Hara.
Is it?
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
he corrected me because I used to say O'Hara all the time. And then he corrected me. So here comes probably the GTA. Probably not Manriki Kusari.
Yeah, Manriki seems a little loose here. Well, I think Manriki, does it give you like +1/+2? Does it
I don't actually know what it does. I know it just like destroys
there's an
artifacts
Eighth
or
of Hour
something.
right on time. We're going to see an equip. I would not be surprised to see a Stoneforge bite it here.
Well,
Andrew, no removal spells. This GTA Live is a big
but
signal.
he did.
Oh, he double blocked.
Oh, gotcha.
So we're going to see one counter remove to kill one of the Deathrites since the double block happened.
Yeah, interestingly, doesn't O'Hara have a removal spell? I'm surprised he didn't cast.
I'm very surprised he didn't path
plow
there.
to
I
keep
would be
his
very interested in pathing.
Yeah, I'm very surprised he didn't. Because now if you're in Jordan's seat, sure, he has an active GTA, but he actually
Jordan
doesn't.
might just not be scared of like a Deathrite. Like he's more scared. Wow, the Vial getting hard cast dazed. Wow. I think that really speaks to how behind on mana Jordan is this game.
Yeah, on turn like.
I'm very surprised to see any dazes in Andrew's deck on the draw.
Yeah,
I was talking about that.
I was talking about that between sideboarding. It was like when Andrew's on the draw, they seem so bad.
Yeah, they don't seem very good at all. I would be much more interested in Force. Which, I mean, Force would have the same thing there. He had like a million mana up. So there's the second Plains right on time. So we could see we have Path. Is that a creature?
No,
Path,
it's just a
Manriki,
judgment.
and a Council's Judgment. I'm kind of interested in just Council's Judgmenting this Deathrite.
If he draws, I would rather path it, because if he draws a true name or like a Liliana Last Hope on this board, that's really good.
All right, looks like there's another drain, and it looks like Andrew's actually at 18. Jordan O'Hara at 14.
Well, yeah, we're not catching up, keeping up.
Gosh. All right. So Jordan, plenty of equipment for when he draws a creature, but all right, Andrew go down to 17. Fetch land. I'm not sure I like this fetch unless he has a 5-drop he wants to play. I want to hold it for Brainstorm.
I mean, he may want to do like a True Name Nemesis, hold up Deathrite Shaman activation.
That's fair.
Maybe that's what he's interested in doing. Or Liliana Last Hope, hold up a Deathrite Shaman
Oh,
activation.
Liliana Last Hope would be so good. Just being
Actually,
able to have
it wouldn't really be that good.
Oh, there's a Council's Judgment.
Yeah, the Council's Judgment.
Yeah, how about a Gurmag Angler plus something? Well, he can leave a creature in his graveyard, right? I think the fact he left a disenchant means he might have the Snapcaster.
Yeah, I don't know why he's doing all this. I guess he just wanted to
a
play a
spell to
3
drain
mana.
him?
He just wanted to play Gurmag for 3 mana
And hold up Deathrite.
and hold up Deathrite, I guess.
You know, like I said, he's leaving one card in his graveyard, which to me, I mean, you get to get rid of the fetch land that you fetch with.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. He just wanted to hold.
He wanted to drain
He
2
wanted
this
to
turn.
drain 2, and he
Path
wanted
to
to do
Exile
that.
targeting Gurmag Angler. Finally found its mark. Now we're going to get to go grab another land. Andrew probably didn't cut the island, so we're going to see an island.
Unless it's in his hand.
It could be in his hand.
The fact he's searching, he's got
there
it.
is. Unhinged. At least good taste there.
Either Val, more artifacts, no equipment to
More
use,
artifacts.
or no creature, to use them on.
Man, what Andrew would probably do for like a Shatterstorm right now. Just to lock it up a little bit more. Because, I mean, to be fair, Jordan O'Hara is not dead. He's a pretty healthy life total. And if Jordan draws a creature, like, Andrew's just been drawing lands.
Unless Andrew has like another removal spell. Or a Snapcaster Mage.
You see Jordan beginning the port action here on turn, 7 or 8. Port one of your 6 lands.
Yeah, it doesn't, I mean...
Jordan doesn't have anything else to do with his mana, but it's just, like, pretty comical. Not probably doing much here this game.
Yeah, it's Yeah.
Because I think we're almost in Cast Stoneforge, then Cast the Batterskull territory. There's the last hope. All
Doesn't
right.
really do anything though, because
Do
of the
you mill?
judgment.
What do you think of mill into here?
Um,
Mill into maybe get a creature back?
well, you don't have a creature to get back.
Yeah, just like blind mill too. Do you hate that? Oh, looks like Andrew is interested in that, and there's a death right. Very rewarded.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, because if he gets, what, Flicker Wisp, he can put, I guess he can, I
Well, this
don't know.
vial is only at 1 right now, and so you can take it up to 2 so it doesn't die to a mother. We're going to see this Council's Judgment picking off this Liliana Last Hope.
I think Andrew's interested in voting for the Last Hope as well.
I believe Andrew put that in his graveyard. I think that needs to be
Yeah, that
corrected.
should be exiled for the purpose of another Gurmag Angler coming out. Jordan's notifying him anyways. And Andrew's just going to simply ship the turn back. Jordan O'Hara is still looking for a creature. Actually found what looks like to be a recruiter. A huge pickup, actually. If that's right. And a Flicker Wisp. Yeah, while you were gone, there's a recruiter in the hands of O'Hara and a Flicker Wisp.
Wow, that's a lot of good
So,
pickups. We may have a game here after all. Andrew drawing only death rights and
there's a hard cast
force.
but there's still a Flicker Wisp in his hand, which is going to be huge.
Or I can't flick that in quite yet.
Yeah, you obviously can't.
We're looking at 10. I mean, honestly, Jordan's beginning to get on that home stretch of life totals. You know, looking at a 3-turn clock. There's a ponder on the side of Andrew. You know, one other creature may just begin to like.
And if Andrew has a Snapcaster Mage for this GT, it's actually gonna be.
I mean, that's probably gonna lock it on up. Probably. I mean, getting rid of the GT, like Gusari just does not do enough on this board state.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it does anything.
I mean, the GT is the key piece. It's that bomb waiting to go off.
Yeah, if he can get that GT going.
And I mean, the good thing about Death Rate is you can get, you get damage across without using combat, which is what GT just does best is combat. So you at least have a turn or two of like the first time Jordan plays a creature and equips the GT, you still don't have to attack. So wow, the hard cast Batterskull. Now that'll swing the race a little bit.
Hard cast Batterskull, leave up a drain with one of the death rights at least.
I wish Andrew didn't put the token right over the entire Batterskull, but there is a Batterskull underneath that token, and we are looking at potentially a creature here. I think no, it's just another vial. So you can vial in Flicker Wisp. You get rid of the token, right?
Yeah.
In combat, and then you have Gusari and GT. You can use Gusari to blow up the Batterskull. Although not with all this mana, we're gonna look at a drain here. Jordan going to 8, virtual 10 using the counter on the GT. But I think this is an interesting spot because you can Flicker Wisp the token, and then you actually aren't interested in really using Gusari quite yet, like because you want to use the GT first, right? I almost want to go ahead and flick out this token, and then equip GT to Flicker Wisp and just jam. Start killing these Deathrite Shamans, and then you can answer the Batterskull at your leisure. Eventually, he's going to have to cast that again. There's no Stoneforge on his side of the table, and he can't hold up 3 mana.
Part where
Oof, Delver's a big one though. Wait, no, it's not. It just dies to this GT counter. So if Jordan finds GT, GT counter, kill the guy. Untap, equip.
Does Andrew have cards in hand?
I think he has 1 or 2.
Yes, there's something. What could they be?
I don't know. The fact he was willing to run the Delver into the GT counter is very interesting to me. Attack. I think a removal spell might just be good enough here. How about Zealous Persecution? Can't pump. It looks like there's another Flicker Wisp in Jordan's hand. But that might not be fast enough here. With no GT counter, it's now exactly a 2-turn clock still.
Yeah, this is... And that's a scrub land down there too, so he's got double black.
This looks like actually Jordan might just be dead here.
Unless we're missing.
What Jordan has to use Flicker Wisp right now, right? To even have a chance. Oh no, he still is just dead.
Yeah, unless there's not an instant. I think Andrew may have had to draw an instant or sorcery actually right there.
Wow. And now, I mean, you really see the power of death right here. Even though Andrew drew almost all lands and what is, essentially a mana dork. I don't like this equip at all.
Jeez, not having that instant or sorcery, not having another.
Oh, there's not another instant.
No, there's not. He needed an instant or sorcery there, Because
Yeah,
he's
because
just
there's
got
one with the
disenchant.
disenchant, right.
Jeez.
Wow, that might just be enough.
Yeah, this is gonna be huge, actually.
I didn't see that at all. Notably, Andrew getting a little punished for exiling an extra card with Gurmag earlier.
Yeah.
Just to be mana efficient on death rate activations.
Well, he got an extra death right that turn.
But now he can't do anything about this GT.
Yeah.
Jordan might just come back because there's no spell in the yard. I didn't even see that at all. I'm having trouble seeing the graveyards here.
Yeah, he may run away with this game.
Oh my gosh. So what do you do here?
If you're who? Jordan?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta attack. You
have to gain life. And he still has the same equip.
Well, you have a Revoker in your... He has a Revoker that he just
Oh
drew.
my gosh. So good.
He can play the Revoker named
You name Deathrite? I think I named Deathrite.
Yeah.
No, you can't name Deathrite. You have to name Batterskull, right? Because you still have to gain life this turn. Is that correct? This is a weird spot. Because if you name Deathrite...
You can play... So if you play it, you name Deathrite, he equips, you shoot the one he equips with the thing. That's what I would do.
So you just name Deathrite?
You name Deathrite, no whichever one he equips, you blast with the GT.
Jordan equipping the Gusari to the Revoker. I kind of like that.
I don't actually know how Gusari works. What does Gusari do?
You like tap it to destroy target equipment.
Okay, I figured you had to tap, so you
I think it gives it +1/+2. Like, I think...
So now that this is equipped, if you're Jordan, you have to respond right now by...
What's happening here? Oh, he thinks it's not summoning sick, right? Oh no, he just likes blocking. He doesn't even care about the life
he's
total.
Just dead. Or, I guess he's not just dead, but... That was... odd?
To say the least. I mean, there's still no spells in the yard, so...
Yeah.
You can just kill... You can just kill Deathrights at your leisure now, right?
Yeah, okay. So maybe we should have named Batterskull?
Not with the Gusari. Surely not.
No. I'm talking about with the Revoker. So you can't equip. The Deathrights don't do anything. Unless Andrew draws a spell. Ooh, True Name Nemesis.
Yeah, it does give +1/+2. Look at me.
True Name off the top, though. Pretty solid.
That's a pretty big one.
This GT still is threatening to do a lot of work.
Yeah, we may see...
Of course, if you throw that, you have to kill this Batterskull, don't you?
Yeah, you have to kill the Batterskull. If you kill the Batterskull and gain 4 life. Actually, you have to pass the turn here. Jordan just picking up a Plains. Decides to play it. I'm not sure I like playing it, but I guess you have to.
Can you port twice?
I don't know. I thought it was a Wasteland.
Oh, yeah, maybe not. Okay, sure.
So, what has to happen here is Andrew can't equip to the True Name because then it just dies, right? You can just kill the Gusari and gain life.
Yeah.
And Andrew can't just attack because then he can block, kill the Batterskull, and then profitably block that Deathrite and get more counters. So Andrew actually can't attack on this board state and can't equip.
Well, he can attack with True Name and just pass if he wanted to.
Oh, looks like Andrew's electing to attack with both. That opens... Oh no, he didn't block. Did he block? Maybe he did. And yeah, you have to gain 2 to go to 4. And then damage should resolve, profitably block that Deathrite. Oh, he didn't block. Why didn't Jordan block?
I guess he didn't.
Looks like he's just to gain 2 more life.
Well, that's not very good.
It's much worse for sure.
He takes 4 down to 2. Oh wait.
What? How is he at 10? I don't understand. Oh, the Brainstorm to just go ahead and seal it on up. Yeah, he takes 4 to 2. Andrew casts the Brainstorm to go ahead and kill him. If Jordan blocks there, he's still not dead to that, right? Jordan blocks,
I don't think so.
Gets 2 more counters on the GT. Like, it's just... I'm very surprised to see that play not taken.
I think if he blocked... Yeah, I think you're right. Jeez.
Well, that's the end of our round 1 action. Round 2 action will begin as soon as all the players are done. We'll come back to you with our next round match. Do you know what our next round matchup is?